Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into Thomas Muller's really unsettling short story, Rusty. We're going to break down just how a story about neglect and poverty can spiral into some truly terrifying supernatural horror.
Right from the jump, the author himself gives us a heads up. He basically says, hey, this might be a tough one. And that's a pretty serious way to start, right? It tells you this isn't just about jump scares. This story is digging into something deeper, something way more uncomfortable. So with that warning in mind, let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, A Lonely Boy's World. This is where we meet our main character, an 11-year-old kid named Lewis McCormick, but everyone just calls him Rusty. And his world is, well, it's pretty lonely.
So the author does something really clever here. He starts off painting this picture of a perfect 80s childhood, you know? He talks about woods and fields to explore, this innocent time. It sounds great, right? But then, bam, he pulls the rug out from under you. Because that's not Rusty's reality at all. For him, it's a rundown mobile home, a mom who's just completely worn out, and constant nonstop shouting. So forget innocent exploration. Rusty's world is all about deep, crushing isolation.
And get this, the first time we actually meet Rusty, it's not even from his perspective. We're seeing him through the eyes of his elderly neighbor, Miss Oliviera. Think about that. Right away, you get this creepy feeling of being watched, of being judged. It adds this whole other layer of threat to his already lonely world, and we don't even know the kid yet.
And as she's watching him, Miss Oliveira just mutters one word under her breath. Pirralho. Now what does that mean? Well, in Portuguese it means brat or urchin. So yeah, that one little word tells you everything. This isn't some sweet old lady watching the neighborhood kids. There's real contempt there. And it's a huge clue, a bit of foreshadowing, about the sinister part she's going to play later on.
Okay, on to Section 2, the Rusty Pocket Knife. This is where things really start to shift. And it all begins with something small, something you'd think is no big deal. A pocket knife he finds.
Just look at the description. The knife has seen better days, it's dirty, faded, rusted. I mean, it's a perfect metaphor for Rusty himself, isn't it? He's neglected, kind of discarded by the world, but there's still this potential for sharpness, for danger right under the surface. For a kid who has nothing, finding this knife is huge. It's something that's his.
And what's so interesting is how the knife story perfectly tracks Rusty's own downward spiral. First, it's just a discovery, right? For a boy with no power, this thing is a symbol of it. Then, of course, his mom, Donna, finds it and throws it away, which, any parent would do. But Rusty goes and gets it back. That's his first real act of defiance. And then comes this huge moment. The babysitter, Jake, he doesn't take it away. He cleans it. He sharpens it. He basically validates it, makes it real. And what's the result? Violence. Rusty starts mutilating his toys, just testing out the limits of this new power.
All right. Section 3. A costume needs a host. So, the seeds of violence are planted with a knife. Now the story throws in the last two things that are going to push Rusty right over the edge. One is purely emotional, and the other is supernatural.
Man, just imagine being a little kid and overhearing your own father say that. I didn't want the little fucker anyway. It's just devastating. It's a moment of absolute, total rejection. In that one sentence, his dad basically cuts him off from the family, from his own sense of self. It leaves this gaping emotional wound, and that makes him so vulnerable.
And the timing here is just masterful storytelling. Right after this crushing emotional trauma, when he's at his absolute lowest, who shows up? Ms. Oliviera. It's like she was just waiting in the wings for him to be this broken, this vulnerable.
And listen to how she offers it to him. It is so creepy. She says, I made this, and it needs a host. A host! Not it needs someone to wear it, it needs a host. That tells you everything you need to know. This isn't just a Halloween costume. No way. It's like a parasite, an empty identity looking for a broken kid to move into.
So we're at Section 4, Becoming the Scarecrow. As soon as Rusty puts that costume on, things go from bad to worse really fast. The change isn't just in his head anymore. It's becoming physical, and it's terrifying.
So this isn't just a kid playing dress-up. The costume is literally changing him, and the story gives us all these unsettling clues. For one, it fits him perfectly, almost like it was made just for him. The family dog, Hawkeye, now just growls at him constantly. He won't take the costume off, not even to eat. He gets really lethargic, just lying around for hours. His body starts getting stiff, his joints ache. And maybe the weirdest part, he feels sad when he takes the mask off. It's like the costume is actively draining the Rusty out of him and filling him up with something else. And the way his final disappearance is described, it builds so much dread. It's this quiet, slow-motion vanishing act. Saturday afternoon, he's just sitting listlessly in the yard. By evening, he's completely withdrawn. Then, Saturday night, his mom finds him asleep, and for a second, everything seems normal. But then, Sunday morning, she wakes up, the front door is wide open, and Rusty's just gone. It's that slow burn that makes what happens next so absolutely shocking.
So, the question is, where is he? Where is Rusty? And the answer is just about the worst thing you could possibly imagine. The dog starts barking like crazy, leading his mom, Donna, into the nearby cornfield. And what she finds there, it's a nightmare.
She sees it, a scarecrow, staked in the middle of the field. And it's wearing Rusty's costume. But it's not a boy in a costume. When she touches it, she realizes it's filled with straw. The boy is gone. The transformation is complete. All that's left is that monstrous, empty shell that Miss Oliveira gave him.
Which brings us to our final section, number 5. What makes a monster? How could something like this even happen? Well, the story is pretty clear that this wasn't just one thing. It was a perfect storm of awful circumstances.
And this is really what makes the story so powerful, I think. It's this idea that monsters aren't always just born evil. A lot of the time, they're made. You've got the poverty and neglect. His mom loves him, but she's just too stressed to see the warning signs. You've got the straight-up abuse and rejection from his father. Then there's the babysitter, Jake. His act of kindness in sharpening the knife actually ended up arming Rusty's anger. And finally, you have the supernatural spark from Miss Oliveira, which becomes the vessel for all that pain to take a physical, monstrous form.
And the story ends on this absolutely chilling note. We see Miss Oliveira looking across the road at the scarecrow, at her creation in death, and she just mutters that same word again, pirralho. But this time, she has a sly smile on her face. And that's it. It just confirms her pure, malicious intent and leaves you with the horrifying reality of what she did.
So in the end, Rusty leaves you with this really haunting question. Was the monster made? Was it created piece by piece by the poverty, the abuse, and the neglect? Or was the monster already there, growing inside him, and Miss Oliveira just gave it a mask to wear? It really makes you think about that fragile line, you know? The line between a lonely, neglected kid and the monster they could become.